What's up, guys? Michael K here, founder of GA Trading Club. As you can see, I'm recording this video on a cruise in the middle of the ocean. Now, every month we'll be doing this segment called State of the Club. This is where we go over what have we done in the last month, what can we improve on, what have we learned, and give you guys a snapshot of things that are coming down the pipe. Now, for the month of May, we had a return of 1.9%. For the month of April, we had a return of 3.9%. For the month of March, we had a return of 3.2%. And all these returns, you can find them in the description down below, where you have a link to join my Discord totally for free, and the Google Sheet that tracks the returns. And these returns are returns I take daily on the live session when I'm trading, and also trades that I send in the Discord to the community. Now, as we head into the summer, the markets start moving a little bit slower. Liquidity dies off in the markets as you have all the banks, hedge funds, and the big, we call them market makers, going on their summer long vacation. So during this time, markets are relatively stable and there's barely any liquidity in the market. So that's why you can see in the month of May, our returns started going to about half or 0.5%, or yeah, 0.5% of what we'd done in the previous 2 months. Now, not to worry, because 1.9% compared to what a bank or your bank would give you for your savings account, that is probably 10 or 100 times more. Because if you put your money in a bank, in a savings account, they'll probably give you a yield of 0.05% a year. Keep in mind, here on our worst month, we had 1.9%. So we haven't had a losing overall net losing month so far. So which is good, which is a good direction for the club, because when I envisioned and when I started developing this club, it was more to educate people, to teach people to use proper risk management, and let them know that trading is not just hopping in without knowing. When I was starting, I really didn't have much guidance from mentors. So I had to find all this information by myself. And for the last 3 or so years, what I've now done is combined all this knowledge that I now have and the strategies. And that is what I'm teaching in the group, in my group. So currently, we have developed about 6 indicators based on all my strategies that I've put together. So 6 indicators that guide you and show you this is where to buy, this is where to sell, based off of the strategies. So I currently have about 5 strategies. So I've combined all of these strategies into indicators. So think of it as if I was an AI, because ideally I put 99% of my knowledge into these tools. And you'll see with the membership we have, there's a lot of people applying all these strategies, and they are becoming profitable within weeks of joining the club. So if you're a beginner trader, if you're a professional trader, this is a club where you can come judgment free. You can come in there. We're gonna hold your hand. We're gonna teach you, this is how we use our strategy. Now, if you find that that's something that works for you, well and good, right? We love and we are looking to grow this community forward. But if you find that trading maybe is not your thing, at least you know that you have tried. But the other thing that I'm propagating in this group is that maybe it's not trading, it can be other things, but find a way to have more than one source of income. Because when I do things like this, like come in, go on vacations, which I do quite frequently nowadays, a lot of people ask me, how are you able to do this? Now, I used to ask the same question way back when I used to see people living their lives, but I believe a better question is to ask yourself, why aren't you able to do it? Because if you see other people living the life that you want to live, and you are not there yet, then it ideally means what you're doing currently in your life is not working. So it's a change. It's just a change, because nobody could have ever convinced me that this is where I would be 3 years when I started trading, 3 years ago when I started trading. So ask yourself, why are you not there? And then be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, do I have a secondary source of income? If you don't, then are you entrepreneurial? If you're not, you can learn. You can learn. There are people out there who do, whether it's Amazon drop shipping, there are people out there who do baking business. A business is something you can passed down to your future generations. You can have a lot of financial stability, and it just allows you to have freedom. As I told you guys, this trip, I literally paid for this trip within 10 minutes of trading. I was in a trade for about 10 minutes, made enough money to pay for this cruise and a lot more. So, but if I was employed and I had to work for the amount of money I paid or I spent on this cruise, it will probably take me like what, six or so months, depending on how much you earn. But again, the freedom that trading has given me is to enjoy such things just by minutes and minutes of trading. So now the other part that we've learned for this month was about risk management, getting members to understand risk while entering a trade. Because if you do not understand that, then what will happen is you can end up losing a lot of money. Because a lot of people try to get into trading with the mentality that, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire overnight. Now, that's not going to work. Like, I can guarantee you, if you get in with that mentality, you'll just end up losing a lot of money, a lot of your hard earned money. So, this month we focused on risk management. So, by risk management, I meant whenever a trader is entering a position, they know, hey, what am I risking? I'm risking maybe 0.25%, 0.5%, 1%, whatever the risk is. So with every trade, our members now always have a number in mind. And also when I'm doing the live trades online, I always tell people if I'm getting into this trade, get into this trade with a 0.5% risk, which is the beginning standard for the risk percentage that I teach. Now, after that, you have a take profit and you have a stop loss. A take profit is the value at which, if your trade hits that value, you secure the risk. So, for example, if you are risking 0.5% and your trade hits take profit, you would be up 0.5%. Now, that's the take profit, right? But again, trade nothing is 100%. So you can also have a trade going against you. So now we have the stop loss. So a lot of traders, and this is mostly for beginners, they make a mistake of getting into trades without a stop loss. And I used to do that all the time because you're not yet there mentally to accept that losses do happen. So a lot of people do get into trades without a stop loss. So stop loss would be the value below your trade or above your trade, against the direction of your trade, at which if that value is triggered, your position is automatically closed out. Now, what happens if you do not have this value? And let's say there's a lot of volatility in the market where price just shoots down and you ideally end up losing more than you should have lost, or you end up even losing the whole value of your account. So having a stop loss is good because, especially if you're starting off as a trader, if you can get the discipline of having a take profit and stop loss, you will be better than 90% of beginners. That I can guarantee you. On the other hand, what happens when you don't have a stop loss? And let's say there's not a lot of volatility and price just keeps going against you and against you. A lot of trader, and this is just human nature. And the market makers, the big banks, the hedge funds, they know this. They call regular traders retail traders because ideally, what a lot of people do if they don't have a stop loss and the position keeps going against them, they keep hoping that, oh, it's going to come back, it's going to come back, what goes up must come down, what goes down must come back up, right? But market makers know this, so price keeps going down and down and down, and because of that emotion of saying or hope and saying it's going to come back, beginner traders end up losing a lot and a lot. So this is something that I'm proud of for this particular month. We had a couple of traders that were struggling with that, with not having stop losses or take profits, and they got it. They got it right. Because on the other hand, you can say, okay, maybe we don't have a take profit, and the trade goes so heavily in your direction. Now, when you're trading, you don't want to trade on hope. You don't want to trade on could have been, should have been. No, like if your take profit was 0.5% and you secure the 0.5%, even if the trade goes up so much and you're like, okay, I could have made 8%, 4%, That's not what trading is. Trading is get in, have a predetermined take profit and stop loss, have a predetermined risk, and once you hit that, whether it's the take profit or stop loss, get out and wait for the next opportunity, right? Because again, we talked about trading giving you all this freedom. You only need, if you're good enough or if you're disciplined enough to pay for something like this that I'm on right now, you only need one good trade and you can make the value of this cruise that I'm on in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, in 15 minutes. Now, and we get a lot of good trades. You can have five of those trades a day. Like sometimes you can have them just one of those a week. So that part of discipline is something that has been so dear to me and something that I'm so proud of my club members for doing so. Now, one thing that we have coming down the pipe is we are working on our website. So that's another platform where we should be able to reach more people to show them what we're doing and keep growing and growing this group. Again, I said my goal for this community, currently we have 100 members. My goal for this community is to have 1,000 members by this time next year. And we did 100 members without any social media or ads, but right now we'll be investing. So currently I'm investing heavily in social media management. I'm investing in ads, so, and also the website. So we should be able to have at least 1,000 members by this time next year, and this is something that has been near and dear to me, and I'm proud. I'm very few times in my life have I felt proud of myself, but building such a community where people are engaging and where people are on the route or on the path to making life-changing decisions, that brings joy to my heart. Like honestly, if you take everything else away, like you can never take the culture we have, and it's only going to go up from here. And I look forward to seeing more and more people coming in, joining, and seeing what we're about. But anyway, until next time, I'll see you guys in the next segment. Peace.